Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Dizzy, but doing okay. Yeah?
It's been an interesting week.
Interesting in a good way or a bad
Kind
way?
of a mix.
Hopefully a good
Kind of
way.
a mix.
Uh-huh.
Let me in.
Hi.
Hello. Galibond.
I think he's getting a drink.
Yeah, he's BRB'd.
I think.
How's everybody doing this week?
Too
Headache.
bad. I went to see a doctor Thursday about my back.
Mhm.
And he put me on a pain reliever, a muscle relaxer, and something to help with the pinched nerve that I get.
That's good at least. Not that you have to take them, but you got them?
I'll try them. I'm definitely going to try them. Especially that pinched nerve one, because that's a bad feeling.
I know how that's like because my mom has one of those. And some days it's so hard that she can't even get out of bed. Bad. So.
But 10-inch long oval on one of her thighs of numbness.
Huh?
The pinched nerve I have, cause it's in the hip joint in the lower back. It causes a big area of numbness in your thigh.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's actually that's actually accurate. Ouch is accurate. Because it feel like burning needles sticking in your thigh.
I don't think I want any needles in my thighs.
No, it's more like, you know how when something when your body part falls asleep,
Yeah.
it's like that, but intensified by like 100. I've had it wake me up in the middle of the night.
That's no good.
You know, it's bad enough that it has its own name. They can't really do anything about it other than, give you medication and hope it does something?
Well, I hope it works at least. But knowing doctors, it probably won't.
Well, he knew what he was talking about. I'm thankful for that. I described the pain I was having in my back, and he went right to the spot. And goes, "Is it tender here?" Yep.
Oh, that's nothing to laugh about, but yes. Hey, how is everybody doing this afternoon?
Doing okay. A lot more awake than I was an hour ago.
Oh, that's good. All right, well, I have 2 o'clock, so I'm going to cut the music. And I am going to welcome everybody. Hello, players. Hello, stream. I am DM Galibar. It's 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. And that must mean it's time for the Walker of Waterdeep. And for today, it looks like we are joined by just about everybody. It looks like we have Pete, Ivy, Vern, Chris, and Ken all here for the game today. And last time, our party was in Ravnica, and they were going around and talking to some people. And we had done several items on the party's to-do list, and I am going to go ahead and strike these off as I mentioned them. Oyahusa had talked to some people about some things. Elora had gone shopping. Galibar went to see the World Tree. Elora, we kind of glossed over it, but she sort of did some stuff with Griffey in Beast Haven over in Precinct 3. And let's see. Oh, and Adamant had talked to some people in the blister coils, had gone to a lab in the blister coils to see a guy about a puzzle box, and had opened it up and had found something ambiguous inside.
And then he locked the puzzle box back up.
And then he locked the puzzle box back up, and he gave it to the Izzet League. Took it out of his inventory and gave it to them, which they promised they would use as a test for new initiates. And thankfully, this is one test that if they get it wrong, they actually don't know if it's going to blow up or not because you got it right. So they don't know what'll happen if they get it wrong.
I guess I should have checked that.
Science, right?
I guess I should have checked that box in retrospect.
Yeah, It'll have some interns look at it, and they'll figure it out. Okay, we still have a few items left on our list. Now, Eric did have a brief encounter with a member of the Orzhov over by the West Plaza. And there was a couple of things that Galibar still wanted to do, and at least one of those coincides with another item on Oyo's agenda, namely going to the library over in Precinct 5 to do some more research. And Adamant, I believe, needs to go back to Precinct 4. We may have left him there, but I don't think we really did much of anything with it. He was going to go to Precinct 4 and talk to some guys in the Izzet about the shield. because there were some ideas that he had, and the Shield, Shield maybe nixed his original idea, but the Izzet League are a bunch of clever people, so they may be able to come up with some alternate that will meet both Adamant's needs and the needs of the Shield.
Yeah. I can't understand left from not wanting to be folded up like a deck of cards.
Yeah. So,
I also need. He also needs to get with the party.
Right. Okay. So, well, why don't we start with a nice group scene? Since Adamant is going to be talking to the party, we'll just sort of retcon his appearance at Precinct 4 for now, and we will say that after the initial goings out across the city, the party has come back in the evening, and they are back at the diplomatic quarters. They still have not been given an exact time of when they're going to be briefed on what comes next in their mission. So there's no sense of super urgency that except maybe internal angst that the party members may feel. But externally, there's no urgency of, hey, you got to get everything done by such and such a time because, the plane's leaving or the teleportation pad is leaving. So we're back at your diplomatic quarters. You all have an opportunity to
Is this before, after, or during the scene you ended with last week?
And where did we cliffhang last week?
Eric was telling a story to a bunch of diplomats. The party was invited to a dinner. That's the reason why I'm asking. It sounds... We left with the party together.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll just pick back up with the party together.
I mean, we did kind of skip over my talk with my weapon.
Okay, well, we'll get to that. You will have an opportunity to do that. Let's go ahead with a group scene to open up before we start splitting off for individual folks. And I will add that down on the list here. Galibar talking to... All right. Excellent. So, Eric, go ahead and take it away. You were telling a story.
We already told the story. What happened during the story was, it might be the last roll that we have. Nope, it's not the last roll. It was a relatively high roll for performance. There was... it's up there a little bit. It was 26. Yeah, it's up there. But a bunch of people rolled a bunch of things after that. The people were gathering. It was that the senator had called a bunch of people together. It wasn't clear as to why, but she had Eric give the story of their travel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was the debriefing. And I think that happened before a lot of the running around the city happened. I may be remembering it.
We did last week.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it wasn't the debriefing. I remember a debriefing, but there was no performance role there. It was a bunch of talking. That was like the beginning of last week. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Before.
Okay. Then.
So in other words, all that to say, I got nothing to say because the last thing I did was roll the dice for the performance of telling the story.
Okay. All right. Then in that case, you guys, like we said, you all are in your quarters. You are together. You are talking. Adamant wanted to bring something to the group, so go ahead and let's bring it to the group.
So, I solved the puzzle box. And I do not believe it was a key that I found. I found this shard made of an odd material. And he's going to pull out the shard that was in the puzzle box and show it to everyone.
Okay.
What does the shard look like?
It looks like it's made of some kind of painted enamel material that is quite colorful. And it's a small little roundish, not perfectly round, but roundish piece, maybe no more than an inch in diameter. And it is crystal clear what this reminds at least one member of the party. And that is Oyahusa. The material of this chip, this enamel-covered chip, looks exactly like the same kind of material that Aurora is made of.
Adamant.
Yes.
Let me look at that for a second.
Of course. And Adamant will pass it over.
And you take it in your hand, Oyo, and as soon as you touch it, you hear a familiar voice. Oh, well, haven't talked to you in a while. So, you found a missing piece. That's good. This will help. You'll need it where you're going. And you can tell that the voice is that of Aurora, who I don't think has ever talked to you before except when you've actually held it in your hands.
No, it has. I think once when it healed me or something.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, what did we find? Or did I find? Or, yeah.
Well, this will be a sign. You should make sure that your party keeps this with you when you travel to the next destination. You will need it as proof that you are the ones who have been sent.
And where might we be going?
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to give that away. Your friends from the guilds, they will tell you about where you are going. But just let us say that this is connected to my creator.
I see. But how will that help me exactly?
My creator has many powerful and fickle servants. If you show up without some sort of proof that they deem worthy that you have indeed been sent by the Creator, they are the kind of fickle servants that may kill you first and then find out why you were there later.
I see. But the purpose of this is Just identification. It has no function other than, say, a pennant or anything, or a signet ring.
It will not function for you. It will not function for me. But who knows what it may do for some of my creator's other servants.
Oh, yeah.
In your case,
Oh,
in your
go ahead.
case, think of it as a signet.
Oh, he looks up Adamant and the rest of the group, and he says, "Trust me when I say we will need this where we're going. It will prove our identities. It is connected to my destiny somehow."
We seem to have quite a bit of serendipity amongst us.
Beyond that, I do not know its true purpose, but whoever will ask for it will need it.
All right.
Somebody is going to ask for a shard as a way of self-identification. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, wherever we're going, we better keep it.
Where would shards be? And somehow this shard matters to you personally.
No, not exactly. It
No.
matters to the people that we will meet.
But you said something about your destiny having to do with the shard. You said your destiny and not our destiny. We become suddenly blind, or there's something personal.
Indeed, it does have to do with me in some way. But
You don't know how.
not ultimately, no. But I know its source.
You know where it's from.
Indeed. Adamant would know what I speak of, but I do not know you well enough yet to share such things.
Not sure I care, but there's a reason why we're all gathered. Adamant, what did you mean by showing this to everyone?
Repeat the question, please.
What did you mean by showing this to everyone? You...
I did not know what it was, and I had a feeling that somebody did.
You didn't know who would. Okay, so you're looking for information from... In this case, it was not a presentation, it was a question. I understand.
I will say that, although I do not know the next location that we are going, but I have a feeling that we will find out very soon from our guild members.
I was under the impression that they knew where we were going the minute we got here.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Indeed, they care not to share it with us, though.
It does not speak well of the safety. They seem to be approaching this even more gingerly than when we went to Innistrad.
That's one thesis, but the fact is your party has undergone some changes. Now, it's me I haven't been inquired of. So, one wonders what sort of gingerly exists without interest to the new party. Sounds more like preparation of the plan.
Indeed.
All right. Yeah, I think it's back on now. I think it's back on now. Ivy. I noticed something on my phone while you guys were chatting. Okay. Looks like it's back. Okay. So we've done that, and then yes. The other thing I did is I checked my notes, and I realized what it was that we were doing at the end of the session. There was a social that that you guys were invited to, and Eric was approached during the social by several attractive humans and elves from some of the guilds, basically from the Azorius and from the Boros. And these were kind of like attaches or pages, if you will, or something. And they offered to basically talk to Eric about the guild, and also made it clear that they would be happy to offer Eric companionship. And so they take no offense if he politely turns them down, but the rest of you did do some perception checks, and you get the clear intent. You get the clear idea that that some of the senior members of the guilds are sort of watching and seeing sort of who is more effective at catching Eric's eye. So they will, it's like everybody else says, oh, okay, they're fishing for something. And those people that are talking to Eric are bait. And they want to see which bait he nibbles at. Which bait is most effective.
So the way this one goes is a little bit convoluted.
Whoops. Was that me or was that Vern?
That was this is the computer going crazy.
Oh, okay.
Cat stepped on Adamant's PC, so he's turning back on.
So it wasn't either one of us, it was Pete. Oh, okay. We have enough gremlins and technology without adding household pets into it.
Why did my do this? Blast it.
Okay, well, while Eric is dealing, or while Vern is dealing with his technology issues and Pete is dealing with his, let's pivot over to Chris. Galibar will jump over to a little opportunity for Galibar to have a conversation with his weapon.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead.
This was back when we were still in the area of the world tree.
Yes.
Uh,
Kind of as it was waking up, and it sort of asked, "Who are you? Where are you? What happened to
Look,
Morsalor?"
no, it was after we played with the lions. I'd said I was going to go outside of the cage and have a sit down with the
Okay.
axe while she was playing with. He sits down on the ground with the axe propped up against the tree next to him. And he'll say, "So, I want to learn more about you and your history. Would you mind telling me more about yourself?"
Well, I once was called Willow Roar, and I was from a place far, far away from here. This place has a bit of pleasantness about it, but something feels artificial, feels manipulated, feels tainted. I don't know what it is, but
He said that about Ravnica.
yes, he's saying that about the place where you all are now.
That's the feeling I got. So I didn't join this guild.
And, well, anyway, I had a friend, a very powerful druid by the name of Morsalor, who was the closest thing I can call to a friend among the folk that are not born of seed and stem and root and leaf. He was large like you. Well, actually he was a bit larger than you. Yeah. You seem large for most of the humanoids I have had occasion to know, but his race was one that is even taller and larger. At any rate, he and I shared many observations and tales of wisdom, and we fought many battles together against the forces of blight and corruption, against nature in our world. But then a blight came that I felt in the very soil and the trees of the forest that I tended, feared that it was a blight that would consume us all. And so indeed, when Morsalor and I went to face it, we indeed found that it was very powerful. Very, very powerful indeed. We fought it together, but slowly it eroded our forest. And the very ground itself began to rebel against this blight, where there were once rolling hills. The earth began to vomit up liquid rock, magma. And when I finally encountered the source of the blight, I knew there was but one way to destroy it, and that is to throw it in the caldera of the volcano myself. But it was very powerful, and the last I remember, I was tumbling through the air towards the liquid magma, my foe gripped in my hands, both of us laughing maniacally, knowing that we had succeeded each in destroying our foe. And I never expected to have consciousness again. But somehow I have. And somehow I find myself in this form now with you. Tell me, do you know anything of how I got here?
I do not know how you became a weapon. I did find you in a forge, though, so that could be something. We would probably we will probably be going back to that place eventually, as much as I really dislike that place. So I could probably show you the forge that I found you in. Maybe that could help.
Maybe. A forge. Was it a forge in this place?
No, it was in a place called every time I try to think of the name, it slips my mind.
Innistrad is the plane.
Yeah, he says, Galibar says, "I'll forge Strahd, a doom plane."
Innistrad. That name is not familiar to me. I seek in my memories, but they are fragments and shattered. And the only clear memory I have is of Morsalor. I knew before I met my doom that Morsalor had gained what he called a spark of a traveler that allowed him to leave our world and go to other worlds. Perhaps if Morsalor was responsible for this form that I am in, perhaps he carried me with him. And perhaps he went to this place, this Innistrad. But if he did, and I was found in some forge, then I must only think that the worst has happened, and Morsalor may be no more. So tell me, creature, do you think you are worthy to bear me?
My worthiness is hard to judge, but I do wish to become stronger, and I do wish to protect those that I care about. There is a very big looming on my world and probably many others called the Gith. They've traveled to my, at least attempted to destroy my home. They took many of my people as slaves, or I assumed slaves. We were able to recover a lot, but it still left a large mark on our world. I hope to be stronger so I can take care of any other issues that we may cross. I know I am not strong yet.
So you consider yourself but a sapling, growing the first canopy of your of your ultimate maturity. Is that what I sense?
Maybe a little bit more than that, but certainly not a full.
Hmm.
I am already
Well.
strong, just not strong.
Ah. Well, there is always wisdom in knowing that there is yet more growth one can achieve. Many on my home accounted me wise, but I knew that some elsewhere in the world there were yet others, older, spirits of rock, of root, of stem, and of branch that had seen more winters and more moss, and frankly, more bird droppings than I would ever see in my long, long years. And I knew that I could still learn from them. So it is good that you know yourself still to be growing. That is a first step. Well, tell me, given the choice between tearing down a patch of forest to build a house and allowing humanoids to suffer from the elements, what would your choice be?
Tearing down a forest to build a home is horrible. It is the end of. It is the sacrifice of lives. It's not something that I can be.
Yeah,
I would
Chris,
most likely-
your microphone may be a little bit too far away, or you may be
sorry,
talking a little
is
too
it good now?
softly. Yeah, it's better.
Okay. He says, tearing down a forest to build home is not something you can get behind. It is a sacrifice of lives for lives. And personally, I do not see much of a difference in the lives of nature, the lives of people who use its own survival. But at the same time, I don't necessarily believe that to. I don't believe they would need. I myself spent plenty of days the forest near where I lived, and nature provides. People could live out there. My people lived out there for I'm assuming a very long time, and we didn't have to tear down forests. We didn't have to destroy nature. We lived. So that is my.
Yes. Yes, I think I will permit you to carry me for a time. I think your vision is in the right direction. I think your heart is well placed. I think that you may yet have the wisdom to grasp the lessons that nature can teach. I will observe as we go forward. And for the time being, I will pledge that unless you very much disappoint me, your enemies shall be my enemies, and your allies shall be my allies. If Morsalor is no more, then let it be said that... And what is your name, by the way, creature?
My name is Galibar.
Doesn't matter.
Galibar. Galibar, that is a good name. That is a strong name. Let it be said that Galibar and Willow Roar shall share each other's adventures and battles. Oh, my goodness. All I have done is talk, but for some reason it's tiring. I think
I do have one more question.
Very well, Galibar. Ask your question.
What plane were you originally from?
I believe that is one of the fragments of my clouded memory that has not been made clear yet. Perhaps I need to find clues, or perhaps I am merely awakening from a long, long sleep, and whatever passes for sap in this form needs to yet reach those memories to awaken them again. I do not have an answer for you at this moment. All I know, it was not this place, and it does not sound like that Innistrad that you were in before. But now I grow weary. I must rest for a time, but we shall talk again. And you sort of sense the presence not fading away, but sense it kind of going dormant. Like it's almost like it's entering a state of unconsciousness or something like that.
Okay. He will pick up the weapon, put it on his back, start, I guess. He'll wait for he'll wait for her to be done playing Lion, and then
Okay.
he will walk back with
Okay. All right. So let me check and see. All right, Adamant did. Oh well, goodness. Let me. Okay, I don't know why that is, because I am showing on OBS that we have been live for 52 minutes. I don't see anything. All right, technical support section of the session. Okay, but weird. Yes. When I look at it on my phone, or let me look at it from the other computer. Does it show that it's online or offline at the moment? Come on. And then, okay, weird. Come on. Yeah, all right. Very strange. Okay, I am going to end the stream and restart the stream.